Oh, hi. It's me, Buck Stallion. Let me turn down my air conditioner. I found out recently that actually makes a lot of noise. So, how is everybody today? It is Thursday. It's 65 degrees in the morning. I don't know, what your plans are for the day, but let's just start them off with give up whatever you started with or, ended with yesterday, okay? One of my superpowers is to be able to forgive and forget. Well, okay, I never forget, but to be able to forgive first thing, after I get a good night's sleep. Now, there are some instances where things are horrible or that I had really a bad experience and I don't forgive when I wake up. If you're having one of those days, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not on that list. But today, I'm going to see how long I can go without using a cuss word because I've been manifesting good things. I did a purge a while back ago. I don't know if you guys are listening to my episodes at all. I don't really get. I mean, I know that I have followers. I know that I have views. I know that I have 25 cents coming in a month from revenue. So that's dope. Actually, it was $1.25, my first one, because it was 2 months in one. But as everything, interest declines when they realize how consistent I am in being inconsistent. Because some people need consistency. And that's actually what I was going to talk about a little bit today. Consistency. So sometimes we think doing the same routine is helpful, and in some ways it really is. It's helpful because you get into a rhythm, and you can it becomes mindless movement where you are doing your regular day things. Like you get up, like my daily routine. I get up, I take a shit, I take a shower, save toilet paper, go to talk to my animals. What is this? I got okay. Fucking package in my shrubs. Didn't even see it yesterday. Interesting. I was getting ready to leave. Saw this glimmer in the shrubbery. Wonder what it could be. Now, for some people, that simple task of stopping what you were doing, and even for me, it can be poison. It can be destructive to your productivity, because you just broke up the sequence of events that you would normally do. Like I normally would be just driving away to go start my day. Well, not this late usually, but I'm saying, like, when I get up, it doesn't matter for me. I don't have a time schedule per se. It's just whenever it's time to start the day. Sometimes the day starts at 4 a.m. Someday the day starts at 3 a.m. Someday the day doesn't start till 8. Some days I have to be up at a certain time. Some days I let my body tell me when it's time to get up. But I've found, if you stay consistent with what time you're going to sleep, it allows you to gauge. Oh, sorry. Hold on, seatbelt. It allows you to gauge what your body's doing. How tired are you? How much sex do you need? Etc. Those important things in life. But you know, when you go to bed at the same time, as consistently as possible, it helps to gauge, because then your body's going to sleep. The only thing that sucks is if you have a job and you have or responsibilities, like you have to get your kids up going, or you have to, kick the chick out of your bed before your wife gets home. Whatever your scenario is. Or kick the dude out. Sorry, don't want to think that I don't, empower the women. You chicks also are dogs sometimes. But sometimes that routine, if it gets broken up, like me turning around, grabbing the package in the middle of my podcast, even doing the podcast is not really part of my routine anymore, which sucks. And I'm sorry. I'm going to work on that. That's actually what I'm starting to make a comeback. I took a break. It's normal. Everybody did it. Some people did scheduled ones. I'm not that organized, in Way of the Gun. Somebody asks Benicio del Toro, you must be the brains of the operation. And he says, I don't think this is a brains operation. It's one of my favorite quotes, because I feel like that's the world I live in. I'm not the only one that isn't functioning with my brain. A lot of yous ain't functioning with your brains. But you need some consistency. At least going to bed, if you don't have anything else consistent in your life, going to bed at the same time every night is going to help you at least start to understand yourself a little bit better and what your needs are. Because if you're waking up, if you're not getting ample sleep, then you're stressed. Like if you're, you know what I mean? Like if you, another way, what I was getting at, I'm not sponsored or anything by Fitbit, but Fitbit has helped me so much just to see where I'm at. I like, it's something that I look at. I don't look at it every day because I'm too busy looking at my Instagram likes, but I do look at it at least once a month and just see where I'm going, what's been going on. Because you can't, if you watch something every day, you're not gonna really see what the flow is. You're not gonna be able to like evaluate what you did differently in the heat of the moment, at that moment. I mean, you can if you want to be a real scientist and start logging everything you're doing, some of you already do. It's called a journal or a diary or an Instagram account. Some of you already do that, and or you're Facebooking. These are journals for people. And if some of you are only using it to brag or to otherwise shame everybody, then like you're using it wrong, because it really it's a good medium for a journal, and I've always used it as such. I stopped using Facebook because everybody else's journals became like real journals. Like me, I try to like think of like something one thing a day that I want to remember of that day. Even though there's lots of things that happen throughout the day, but sometimes if I remember that one thing, or if I have that picture that reminds me of something, most of the time it's insignificant to everybody else. But for me, it's something that reminds me of a chain of events that were all out of sequence because I have no routine. But I get up, I take a shit, I take a shower, I brush my teeth while I'm in the shower because I got everything there. Got one of those cool electric ones that lights up whenever you're brushing too hard so my gums don't get all fucked up anymore. Then, like I said, I talk to my animals and shit. Then I go out and I start my day, smoke some weed. Like now my day is started. I get dressed. I do have a sequence of how I get. That's actually what got this whole idea for the show going, was because I was kind of trying to deny that I had a sequence. But there are certain things that have a sequence, like how I take my dab in the morning. It doesn't have to be the first thing I do in the morning. It doesn't have to be, it's not something that I really think about. But once I go, hey man, I'm going to have a dab. Boom. Engage sequence of events, right? I start up the torch. I fucking start heating up, the bowl. And I pull out my dab. I realize, I got to unwrap a new dab. So I, take the envelope out and I unfold it and I inspect my baby slab of 1 gram, brought to you by Concentrated Research. And I inspect my little baby slab, and then I take my little knife and I run it by the torch real quick. Now my bowl is piping hot orange and it's clean as fuck. Oh, dude, I cussed. Damn it. Anyways, well, maybe nobody will notice. So, but it's clean, like it's all glowing orange, and then I run my knife across it real quick just to heat it up enough so that whenever I go to cut the little baby slab, it doesn't pop and pieces fly everywhere and half my slab ends up on the dog bed across the room, or something. So I heat up the knife, one quick run, just enough to kind of just to warm the metal, and then I go and I slice it like butter, and then it's cooling as I'm like, by the time I move over to it, it's already cooling down because I hardly heated it, but it slices like butter, and then it starts to cool down, and I get like this taffy, stringy legs going, and I wrap those up, and some of them break off because it's cold in the morning. And then I go and I let my bowl simmer down, and then I hit the top of the bowl and I watch it run down. These are the things that I catch myself doing, is just like enjoying watching the oil turn from solid to oil again, and then to gas, and then it turns into this beautiful white cloud in my 3-tier bong, and I, by Clover, brought to you by Clover bongs, and then I inhale it, and I maybe I have to come back like 2 more times because it just keeps going. But this is my sequence of events. I have a routine. Then I go over and I've already laid out my clothes, and I've got everything laid out in the order I have to put it on, because whenever I was heavier, 300 plus, I would sit on my socks and they would get stuck in my butt cheeks, and I would be pissed off looking for my 1 pair of clean socks, and they're like in my butt cheeks. Like there's a cartoon like that where like the woman has lost her boyfriend on the beach, and she's a big woman, and he's in her butt cheeks. Anyways, I did that to a pair of socks more than once. So I got clappers. I got some booty hams. And so, so I have to lay everything out a certain way so that I don't screw it up. And so I put down my shirt, my pants, then I put down my underwear, and then I put down my socks. So as you would guess, yes, my socks are the first thing I put on because I don't want to lose them in my butt crack. Once I put my socks on, then I can put on my underwear because they're underneath my socks. And then I put on my pants because they're underneath my underwear. And then I put on my shirt. But sometimes, the reason the shirt is last, and this should be something everybody considers in their daily routine, If you've taken a hot shower, which you shouldn't be doing, you should be taking cold showers in the morning. I didn't mention that. Don't start it out cold. Start hot on your eyes, like get all the boogers out and get your sinuses pumped up, and then turn it half and half so that it's like a medium. Acclimate to that, and then slowly start to tip off the hot until it's completely off and you're running nothing but fully cold water. You can do it. You go swimming all the time. Just quit being a wimp about it. You can do this, and it'll help you. It'll lower your blood pressure. It has so many benefits. One of my oldie buddies, he's like a year out of retirement, but he was telling me, I told him to do it like months ago, because he was stressing about COVID. He didn't want to do it. And then some TV show on it's called Doctors or MDs or something, some stupid show on antenna television. I mean, it's on cable now, but you know what I'm saying? It's like one of the three major corporations that pipe you with stuff. Anyways, now it's kind of like every time Oprah would come out with something, all of a sudden all the housewives were like, what's interesting? Lion's mane mushrooms. Psilocybin is good for your brain. Did you know that? I'm glad that Oprah told you that. Actually, Oprah never said that. That would be Joe Rogan. But, I'm just saying, like, the mainstream media is like 10 years behind. Back in the day, it was so crazy. Fashion was so far behind. I bought these pants called Gerbots, and they were like the pants. They were really nice pants. I've never worn a pair of pants softer. Maybe these True Religions are. I don't know. I don't spend that kind of money on pants anymore. But I bought these pants in Philadelphia at a merry-go-round, and Gerbots showed up like 5 years later. And Chuka boots showed up like 5 years later in California. With the internet, we shouldn't have that problem anymore, but I still feel like there is a divide, and it's like a generational where do you get your information from divide, because a lot of your children, a lot of like my kids and your kids are getting their information on TikTok right now. And I think it's crazy because whenever with the last administration, they were trying to ban TikTok altogether, and like that made the kids want it more. Definitely made me want to get back on it for a minute. But then I actually had TikTok do some weird stuff. They tried to turn on my camera in the middle of the night while I was sleeping. Somebody got into my camera. Not cool, TikTok. So I got rid of it, and then I got it back because I was just like, I don't even care. You can look at my ceiling while I'm sleeping, you dumbass. But yeah, but the kids are getting their information from TikTok. I'm getting my information from Instagram. My parents are getting their information from the television somehow, on a cable or, whatever, but they're not really getting anything. My mom does see what my ex-girlfriends are doing on Facebook. She does keep up with that bullshit. But for the most part, I don't see the older crowd, really, well, Mrs. Poop, definitely watches the gram because she's more on the same wavelength as me. Whenever we talk about stuff, like, it's like we both saw the same things, which is most people, like, it's weird. Like, whenever you go see somebody that you're Instagram friends with, you don't really have a lot to talk about. You talk about things that aren't on Instagram, but every once in a while you'll catch yourself trying to be that educated person and say, what I saw on Instagram, and then they're like, oh yeah, I saw the same thing. And you're like, oh, you follow Gear Hogs? Yeah, I follow Gear Hogs. Shit, that was dope. Did you know that you can get... Do you guys like Star Wars? Well, then you know what the Millennium Falcon is. Did you know that you can get tires named Falcon? Isn't that dope? At Buck Stallion's new and used tire emporium, where we do not give warranties on used tires, but we don't have our special deal anymore. I don't know what deals we do have. I won't be able to find out till later. So maybe on tomorrow's podcast, I'll tell you what the deals are. But I just want to tell you, I think that's dope. We got these Falcon tires. I like Falcons. I always thought whenever I was a kid I'd have a Falcon. Did it seem just like what you did if you were a main character? You had like some sort of a Falcon on your arm? In my generation. But anyways, back to where we get our information. So like, my podcast isn't even like, you know, it's not even on a lot of people's radar, but it would be cool because it is, you can hear me right now. Like I don't know if that one cuss word slips through the filter, that'd be dope, because then, I might be back on, you know, because some of my episodes are on iHeartRadio. Some of my episodes... What, dude? What? Oh, okay. Boy. This guy. I'm not even going to talk about it. Let's just say Vinny Octane is blowing me up this morning. Shout out to Vinny Octane. I'm glad you got sex. It's good.
Hey guys, it's Crypto Chris.
Anyways, back to the routine thing.
Guess what? You're done not making any money in the crypto market.
Now I'm dressed.
You can never do it.
I get in my vehicle
with no total trading strategy.
I like to
follow my 6 tips.
Have
believe in your dream.
Whenever I pull my vehicle out, I like to have my garage ready to do other activities.
Stop being so serious when you're trying to invest your money.
Because I don't always, you know, I'm not going to pull right into
your
my
money
garage
into the computer.
If I have things ready.
Take your computer money and
but
just
put
it all in there.
There's some things I got to situate. So I get up in the morning, I pull my truck out.
Break up with your girlfriend. You don't even like her.
And I situate things.
Ask me how I made over $700 this week.
I'm stoked.
Those
that,
reasons are the way that I got here. Those are the steps.
Prepared. Because, like, that's one thing. Like, if you, like, I sometimes I do lay my clothes out the night before.
Follow me for more
just so that I'm not,
cryptos.
like, trying to, you know, look for my last pair of socks at 5 in the morning when I got to be somewhere. Oh, my God. I thought, dude, I need to get a better prescription. I thought I fucking saw it. Oh, I cussed again. I thought I saw a dead cow right now. If you've ever seen a dead cow, you know what they look like. Their legs are all sticking out, all stupid. And they're just like all, like they usually have, like, it looks like they were making a noise, you know, because their mouths are always hanging open. They got like a slack jaw as they start to melt back into individual cells again. Well, they bloat first because they melt from the inside out. It's horrible. But, yeah, just the lighting. And then I had some headlights in my face. And I thought somebody had dumped a cow. It wouldn't be unheard of. We are out here in the sticks. It wouldn't be the first time somebody just fucking... God, I did it again. See how casual it happens for me? This sucks. So you might be wondering why I'm trying not to cuss. It has nothing to do with syndication of this show. It's just I need to practice. I need the practice. I need the practice. I need to be appreciated on a larger scale, and my cuss words are a hindrance. My dad told me it would be when I was young. I needed to stop. Even my last boss cringed every time. And, you know, I'm just saying, with all this isolation and whatnot, like just all this weird social experiment that's going on, talking how I want to talk has been very relaxing and probably ultimately, like, it has to be somewhat therapeutic, you know? I'm just going to say it is. Hell, I'm stupid like that. I'll make bold statements to all 15 of you listening. Yeah. Weird. I have to be cleaner. I'm getting older. I need to be a better example. I need to be more subtle. I don't need to be more serious, though. You guys keep telling me that I need to be serious. I don't appreciate that. I was told last night, even, by my bandmate, Kyle Barker. He told me he wondered if I could be more serious. My bandmate from Slop Opera, DJ Bean, told Zigzag Robinson, I can't be serious. I don't know how to be serious. And serious probably isn't what you really want from me. I used to feel weird whenever I would hear somebody talk about comedians being the saddest people, or it would make me feel almost guilty because, you know, like whenever, like people like kill themselves like Robin Williams, or they overdose themselves like Chris Farley, or they pill themselves like Heath Ledger. And I'm none of those people, mind you. But like, I remember whenever Chris Farley died, my friend, well, he's not my friend, he was a user and abuser, Will Rogers. Whiskey and Cheerios, Will Rogers. You pig. You spoiled little brat. You pre-ejaculate prima donna. Shit on a stick. What was I saying about that guy? Oh, yeah, when Chris Farley died. No, when Heath Ledger died. It was when Heath Ledger died. He was destroyed. It was like the saddest day of his life. But the thing is like, I went through that in high school when Kurt Cobain died. I was like the biggest Nirvana fan, and I had made some phone calls about, and I, you know, maybe I was getting stroked. I don't care. But I was pretty confident that I had an interview. All I had to do was get to Geffen Records and ask for this dude. And maybe I was going on a wild goose chase. You know what? I wished I had done the adventure then. But instead, after that phone call, that weekend I went camping with my friends Bob Pacheco and Bob Panko and Phil Havana and Kyle Kerr and Tim Heinz and Judd McGrew and Ryan Ryans. Dude, I don't know. I need to drink this energy drink today. But anyways, we took acid, and we smoked weed, and Bob Pankow and I talked about Nirvana, the band, and Kurt Cobain, and I told him everything that I knew about Kurt Cobain. I mean, I don't think that I talked forever, but I might have. We were on acid. But I remember him telling me, man, that's so dope. And I was telling him about the phone conversation. And he's like, I hope that works out. And I was like, me too. And the next day I got home and I took a shower at my parents' house because I lived there still because I was in high school. And I came out of the shower and my mom was sitting there watching the news. And she goes, well, he did it. And I'm like, what? And she's like, that guy, because I had posters all over my room. She's like, that guy killed himself. And I'm like, what? And I just like stood there. It was like it was like that quick news, where they just like loop the same news over and over and over for like, it's like just headline news, I think is what it's called. And it's just like the news digest. They just hit the headlines. And then like later they come back and they talk a little bit about it, but they don't go like into depth and they just keep repeating what they know as it develops kind of. And I just remember being stuck that day. And it was okay because it was like my downtime, it was my day after acid. So I wasn't planning to do anything. I was just going to lay around anyway. But I just remember that was like the worst come down ever. Realizing that you were never going to work with an artist that you really admired. And everybody knew that it made me sad. Everybody knew. But it was weird because I just, like when I was talking to Kyle Barker last night, we were talking about musical themes and whatnot. And, I basically was telling him I was a soundtrack guy. I don't know a lot of movies. Like, I mean, I like musicals, like old musical numbers and stuff like that. I don't really know. But like movies that were new, that were hitting a chord with me, I was listening to the soundtrack and they were like my themes. So like, best believe I had some Michael J. Fox Back to the Future mornings. You know what I mean? Where I didn't get to go to Doc's house and blow up his speaker or nothing. But I had like some, damn, I'm late for school. And like, bump, 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 bump on my skateboard, bump, 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 grab onto a car, bump, bump. Huey Lewis. So I bumped, but as I got older, like I remember like in that was like elementary school. Like in high school, it was Rain Man. I turned into Tom Cruise. And so I'm just like, boo, 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 boom, 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 boom. And you just walk around with sunglasses. And like, when you take elevators, you just like stare stoically. Or on escalators, you just stare with your sunglasses on and your hair coiffed. Tom Cruise style. I don't know, like, I went through phases and a lot of them were mimicking and trying to figure out what the routine of, like, what would be the routine of a person like that. You know what I mean? And none of them were like fitting. So, eventually you come up with your own routines. I just did it the other day and I was like, whoa. And I went back to what I was doing, but I was putting like my wallet and my keys and my glasses and my sunglasses and anything I need to remember to take to work with me, like little trinkets, like I just started using these Grinds coffee pouches. Not because I'm trying to quit doing dip, but because I'm trying to quit buying coffees for $9 and more, and these have like caffeine and taurine in them. So I'm hoping that, it does that as I'm drinking a Bang Rainbow Unicorn for breakfast. I'm taking a break from the grinds because I did the grinds 2 days. I just got them, and I did the grinds 2 days in a row, and I do feel like a weird little sore on my lip. Might be the glycerin. But so many things. So, as an artist, it's good to have a routine because it helps you develop. It's helped me. I like to say, what would help you? I don't know if it would help you. But what helps me is having a routine in my music. And so I have everything set up so that basically all I have to do is go in and start hitting play and listening to beats. And I have my pad, my little iPad thing, my little Droid pad, and I can hit microphone and say some lyrics and it'll type it up. And sometimes it's wrong, but I keep it because it's funny. And so, it's nice to be able to, I have that, it's set up, and if I get into a rhythm where I'm like, okay, like sometimes it's like, I get up, I'll go like take my car to the car wash and get like a bottoms up coffee, talk to the girls for a minute. They always ask me what I'm doing. I tell them I don't know. And then I come back and I make some songs. It's been a real productive routine. The last 6 songs I put out were inspired that way. Just getting out, taking a deep breath of fresh air, and looking at some strangers' boobs popping out the side of a bikini, and maybe looking at a camel toe, and some tiger stripe stretch marks. But it's like, I like it because it's like you're seeing a stripper in the daytime, and they're doing their best. They're doing the best they can. But you can tell some of these girls don't have a routine. You can tell some of these girls just got up and they were like, I have to wear a bikini to work. And I like that look. It's got amateur all over it. I watch amateur porn also. Feel free to send in videos for inspection. I also have an OnlyFans, but I can't seem to get authorized. I think Disney's blocked me on so many platforms. It's unfathomable. Do not piss off Disney. I have a spider in my truck right now. I'm looking at it. Holy shit. I'm going to kill it. You have a lot of gall being in my... Oh, you dropped? Oh, you're a sneaky little bugger. Okay. Oh, I got him. Dude, both times I went to pinch at him, he dropped. Check this out. Shouldn't fear what they can do. or die inside a higher form, another hope, another dimension. The truth's been known since 28. Don't set a limit to your speed or momentum. A consequence of living in a particle dimension. Another consequence of particle dimensions. Drifting without rhythm or vision. Another consequence of particle division. Dancing without rhythm. Speed of light. This prediction requires your attention. The particular equation of the physical energy is a spatial momentum. Higher form, another hope. Another dimension. Truth's been known since 88. Don't set a limit to your speed or momentum. It's just a consequence. So that's one of my more serious songs. If you know anything about quantum physics, that's what that song's about. It's actually, I just found quantum physics is total malarkey. It's just an equation that reduces it omits infinity. Because space is infinite, and so you have to remove infinity from other things so that you can create distance. And they came up with it in back in 1928. And they've just been rehashing the same theory for 20 years. They've done it doesn't really mean anything to in everyday use. It doesn't have any relativity. They keep talking multiverses and all this stuff, and it's just irrelevant. But anyways, so that's this is my little my little Easter egg reveal in that song. If you play the beginning of it backwards, the part that sounds like a Russian communique or a foreign language communique is actually a reverse message. Anyways, so the reason I have to start cleaning up my act isn't just for this wine tasting gig that Kyle and I are going to start doing regularly. But it's also because like, it's just clean. I'm just going to go cleaner. I'm not going to go serious. So get that off the table, everybody. But I'm down to clean it up a little bit and just not be, dude, I dropped some hard words. I dropped some harsh words. I dropped some shock theater words. And I like it. There's always somebody that does. But at the same time, like, I can still do my other thing, but if I'm not allowed the exposure, if I'm being shut down because of copyright infringements and cussing and violence and inciting or instigating and abusive ness, I don't know, dude. Like, one time I was in this situation, I was in a discussion with this person, and she's like, you gotta switch it up. You gotta switch it up. And I'm like, no, dude, like, my consistency matters. And you'll see in the big picture, it always does. There's one person, there's always, there's got to be somebody that's a constant. And that is something that has become a routine of mine, is being sure that I'm consistent. But the thing is that even the people that have known me, for over 30 years, are having a hard time wrapping their head around consistency, because every few years they have this moment where they think I'm somebody else, and they want me to act like even somebody else. You know what I mean? Like they don't know who I am, but then they accuse me of being somebody else, and then they're asking me to act like them or something. And I finally came to the decision, some people omitted themselves, but I also came to the decision that some people, it's like, they're gonna be the people that show up at my funeral and act like they were always there. And being at all these funerals has really, I mean, I just saw a video the other day where a girl straight up kicked a girl out of her sister's funeral because she's a fake, bitch. And she's like, you're disqualified or something. It was pretty good. But you know, like somebody just passed away recently, and it's a friend and another friend of another group. We'll call it another group of people, another friend circle, maybe. But you know, here's the thing. I don't have a group. I don't have one group. It's not like I'm a social butterfly and I hang out with the skinheads and the blacks. You know what I mean? But I have circles. Like, I'm not, you're not going to just catch me with the same. I had a tight circle. It was me and two other dudes, and we were pretty much like our own little Beastie Boys. Until one of our group started going to jail for crystal meth repetitively and beating up police officers. And then now my other friend, I held on to the other one for a minute. another 20 years. But now that guy, he's like, he's on some spiritual journey. He wants to go drown in a boat. So bye. That's what you want to do. And then you want to blow me up while I'm having my own personal crisis. No. You know, here's the thing. I don't have a lot of fucking crises. Sorry about the word that I used right there. But I don't have a lot of crises. I just don't. I have thoughts. I have moments where I want to voice them in a podcast or in a song or on a stage. But, but there's a level of disconnect that, like, in my years of experience, I just can't deal with anymore. I don't know how. There's some people I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. It might be another 5 to 10 years before I figure it out. Because again, some of these people aren't as detrimental, so that it's like it's not like an incestuous problem. But they could trigger it if they want to, call me and ask me what's wrong with me or what's going on. And I hate it whenever they ask me what's going on in that like, dude, what's going on, bro? What's going on with you? What's going on? Nothing, dude. I was just laying out my underwear and my socks for tomorrow. Getting ready to go to bed. What's going on with you? Stupid. But if you are interested, Kyle and I are going to be doing a wine tasting show in the Valley. You can hit me up for information, or you can go on my Instagram. I'm sure I will put out some sort of promotional at Original Buck Stallion @ Original Buck Stallion, or at Wake In Bake. That's WAKEN, the letter BAKE podcast. That's where you can find my pages. I'm not hard to find. I have a couple projects that I'm going to be promoting coming up that are way bigger than me. And I think I'm going to brag on my Instagram a little bit that I'm fucking with these people, but like, I don't feel like it really gives me any leverage. I'm not doing it for leverage. I'm doing it because I like to help people do what they believe in, and I like passion projects. I like people that really care about what they're doing and appreciate the passion that I can bring and appreciate the dedication that I like to bring, because it's art. I love art. Some of you don't even think I'm an artist, and that's fine. I do have the gall to call myself that, but some of you also know that we walk alone.